I did not hit her. I didn't. I did not hit her. Oh, hi, Sam. Where's your pretty friend?
This doesn't concern you, listener, so keep your clever comments in your pocket. Welcome to One Watch. We watch things, we talk about it. I'm tired of saying that, but I have to every time. We've got a guest today.
Hi,
Who are you?
Mia Mills.
Who's Mia Mills?
I am very lucky to be working on set with these fabulous guys.
Yeah.
So excited to be here.
It's an active friend who likes us.
Yeah.
Yesterday they introduced me to quite an experience. I'll let you
Yeah, can we set the scene?
go
Okay,
for it.
So you came up yesterday. You've come up on the train to stay over
Leicester,
from
yeah.
Leicester. And
Correct.
we're doing your show reel as well as you being a part of our production.
Very
And,
nice of you,
and
thank you.
in the process of that, we saw some of your early work.
You were very lucky to be privy to that,
Yeah.
guys.
Young Mia said yes to things that perhaps hindsight had said, oh, that
Older
was a
Mia would have
mistake.
gone, don't
Yeah.
fucking do that.
And one of those films in particular was quite bad.
You're so nice about these things.
Almost so bad it was
Shocking, yeah.
There's bad, and then there was a bit near the end where it fell apart to you said, it's like The Room, watch this back, because I drifted out, and we watched that, and it reminded me of The Room a bit, so it's like, oh, we should watch that tonight, and I was like, Mia, I'll show you, like, me, my girlfriend Sarah, and you will sit down, we'll watch this terrible, amazing experience called The Room, which we did.
We
did last night, and you've now got The Definitive Guide to The Room by Ryan Finnegan, good friend of ours.
Amazing
I
book.
gave you to read last night, and you spent about 2 hours after you'd watched The
delved
Room.
very deep into the dark world of Tommy
Wiseau's
mind. Till about 2:30 in the morning. I was reading this, Tom. It's a fantastic book, amazing book.
You have quotes and reference points.
I have
and everything.
references. I want to start, if I may, by just opening.
Cool. Start
Something.
opening that and describe what The Room is, if that's all right, in your own words.
Describe what The Room
Try and
is.
explain what it is.
It's a massacre of cinema. It is you can only describe it as an experience.
Yeah.
I can't describe it as anything else. You have to literally experience this.
Yeah. It's a film
I just
of
don't know.
sorts.
I don't know what to say. I mean, the plot is so weak. I don't know how to. I don't know how to explain the storyline. I just think it's an event.
Yeah, it's by a guy called Tommy Wiseau, who wrote, directed, starred, produced,
What a guy.
edited under a false name.
He's a jack of all trades, that guy.
But does all of them so spectacularly badly, they all merge into an amazing an experience that you said.
Absolutely an
Yeah.
experience, yeah.
And there's like, the thing about The Room is, okay, there's bad films, like the new Fantastic Four that came out like last year or the year before, and you start watching and you're like, fuck this, I'm turning it off. You never get that with The Room because you're so overloaded
I'm
by
so
what's going
invested
on.
in how shit it is. I have to
You
carry
have to get to
on.
the end. Yeah, we were saying
Have
you.
to.
We were saying to you last night, we can stop if you want me, and you're like, I don't want to stop. I need to know how this plays out. I need to see where this goes.
I kept trying to work out where he was going in his mind when he's putting it together, but you can't. The minute you think you've got it, it's like, whoa! Like he just every time. I feel like it's one of those films. Apart from the very start and the very end, obviously where he
Spoilers. No spoilers.
Won't spoil it, but. You could take any scene out, put it in any order, and it would still make as little or as much sense as it does when it's in that order.
Yeah.
Which is quite a talent this guy has.
Yeah.
You can call it that. But I think he's a genius. And I was saying to Sam that I have to believe he did it intentionally. Otherwise it will mess with my mind forever that he really thought that it was poignant.
Your exact words over bacon and eggs this morning were, I will take it to my grave if I don't believe he's a genius.
I have to believe it was completely intentional.
Okay, let's do this. The Room. It's hard to explain the plot, so I don't know how to explain beyond it's a film. It's in a house, people interact.
Ryan does a couple of pretty good summaries in this.
Play it out.
Well, I want to start by just reading this and just see how much you agree with this statement. It would be an understatement to say that the film is incompetent. However, part of the charm of The Room is in witnessing Wiseau's sincere attempt at making a profound and meaningful movie, an attempt that falls so far wide off the mark that it barely seems possible. The dialogue, scenarios and performances are of an unprecedented level of ineptitude, with plot lines, characters and even beards disappearing throughout. Continuity is dire, scenes are repeated, the soundtrack doesn't fit, and, well, we could be here all day. I feel like I couldn't sum it up any better than that, really.
That's why
perfect.
why everyone should watch it, because it is that.
You have to watch it.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I've still never seen it all the way through. I've watched the
What?
whole thing, but I've never been able to sit through the entire thing.
I wanted to take
Oh,
one of the live showings.
Come
It's so
on.
long. And like,
But it's so worth
it's
the
so-
investment.
I wish you'd been there last night just to see it with me when the co-ops came and stuff. Yeah, for me, the key word in all that is sincere. The sincerity.
Yes, that's
of
why
the
you
film.
can't turn off. And it's like one of the, I think it's Juliet that he interviews who plays Lisa in it, was saying that you can't dislike it because it's so, he didn't mean it in a bad way.
Yeah.
So you can't, I couldn't say I hate The Room.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
hate it. I'm so intrigued by it. I don't
Yeah.
dislike it. I don't dislike him. I think it's quite genius.
Yeah, and it's the same way too. Like, I don't think you can say it's a film that hates its audience,
No.
and I don't think you can say it's a film that's lazy. Even though there's so much wrong with it, it's not he was lazy with it. It's just he's made bizarre decisions, but he hasn't gone, "Oh, I don't care about the editing." It's just he's edited it really strangely.
Yeah. And also, 6 million.
That was the budget.
Where did that go in it? 6 million.
Yeah.
If you guys had 6 million
Yeah,
as filmmakers, that's like, wow. Like,
Yeah,
you could
yeah.
do so much with that. I can't see where 6 million went in that film. Where did it go?
to the producer,
Because the
the
set
director,
was-
the editor.
Literally, he just paid himself. I don't know where. I can't see any evidence of that being 6 million at all.
oh, you try not to.
Which is just. I get it won on the billboard, didn't it?
Yeah,
It went on his billboard.
it must have $5,000 a day or $5,000 a
Advertising
week
that.
for 5 years. He paid for his space.
300,000. I looked it up.
Yeah.
300,000 it cost him to
300,000.
put that up.
And there's a billboard. We should tell the story. There was a billboard in Los Angeles that he hired when The Room was showing. It had like a 2-week showing.
Mm-hmm.
That was it. But this billboard he kept up for 5 years, and it's a close up of his face, slightly high angle, and he's mid wink. So one of his
Yeah.
one of his eyelids is like down, and he calls it like evil demon face or something
Yeah.
himself. It's Toro Wiseau is a bizarre, wonderful human being.
It's his delivery.
Yeah.
I love his delivery. Like I was saying to Sam, he writes things that he can't then read back properly. He's written the dialogue, so he should be the best at reading them. He should know, but he doesn't know the lines, and he can't deliver it right.
It's not just that. It's like he doesn't know how to make his body actions work to
No,
what he's saying.
they don't match.
So he'll be like really angry, but like just his body's completely stiff.
Yeah.
Or his body will go crazy, but he's just like, I'm angry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the way a child would act in like a school
Yeah.
play or something, you know.
He sort of, a lot of the time he looks like he's about to fall asleep as well, which just
He
adds
looks
to that.
constantly bored.
Yeah. Don't touch me, motherfucker. You're just a chicken. Cheep, 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 cheep. It's
That
just
line
amazing.
kills me. Absolutely kills me. It's almost like this is what makes me think he's self-aware,
Yeah.
because he purposely tried to create an inside joke within the film.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean? Like he's
recurring motif,
self-aware enough that he was able to do that, which makes me think, did he know on some level that it was going to be? I don't know. I'd love to talk to him. But I feel like it would be a dangerous place getting inside that guy's
You
mind.
could try messaging him. We'll see.
Can you imagine?
If you go on the Room website, as your friend found out last night, you can buy watches. He sells watches and underwear,
Christ.
and he has a dating service.
Oh, I want to use the dating service.
Yeah,
That's
sign
the
you up,
juice with
baby.
me.
Okay, you've used my mackerel pate thing as your bookmark.
As my
here.
bookmark.
Next.
Juliette Lewis.
Okay, she played Lisa.
Yes.
This is where it gets a little intense.
Yes.
Should we say? Yeah.
She basically has said that she will happily watch the movie. This is what it says. I've seen the movie in its entirety less than a handful of times. I will happily watch montage and mashup clips on the internet. But if I were to watch the film again in a packed theatre, and not be negatively affected by it, I would have to be either heavily sedated or completely devoid of human emotion altogether.
Yeah.
That sounds like trauma. Like,
Yeah.
that sounds like she would relive some kind of trauma watching that,
Well, she,
which is really scary.
Yeah.
it was made in 2003, or it was released in 2003. The
Yeah,
Room,
we'll get into that in a
and
minute, because that weirds me out a bit.
She didn't work again until 2013.
No.
Or it's like 10, 11 years. She had... Why?
That's an impact.
Yeah. So she was young. She was like 21, 22.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the role is... You're an actor. And you, in some of the early films we watched that brought us to the room, you had
Yeah.
questionable things asked of you, and you've had
Yeah.
them before. You want to go into the topic, or do I
I
feel like your perspective will be closer to hers?
I feel, and I'm probably clutching at straws, but I feel like she was missold the story a little bit. Like, if you watch some of the certain scenes that she was asked to do and things like that, I just think it was beyond poorly edited, poorly put together, and it just puts her in a bad... It just made her look...
Yeah, the sex scenes are very gratuitous.
Yeah.
And the first one's like 6-7 minutes. Or
Oh, so long. And
Yeah.
it's like, within the first 5 minutes, it's in... Do you know
Yeah.
what I mean? There's no... It doesn't need to be that long. It's like he just dragged it out for his own ego.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh,
making
I
himself
think that
look
was
like...
the
Yeah.
first time I quit watching it. Was that bit.
Oh, you have to.
That's...
just-
Do you know what? Funny enough, that's
Terrifying.
what I said to you today, wasn't it?
Get
I feel like
past
that's
that
where
bit.
people would turn off, because
Yeah.
it's just so...
But if you carry on,
pointless.
you get to see him basically fucking her belly button.
Literally.
Like the way his
I
body
think
is
so, that
angled.
bit. I think you showed me that bit.
But it was like, we were watching last night, and like Sarah, my girlfriend, was like, just pause it. We're on our third sex scene. How long have we been going? 28 minutes.
Yeah.
3 sex scenes by 28 minutes. One
Yeah.
that's like a repeat as well. The same shots used.
That's actually... I think it's pretty much confirmed in this book that it's basically the same thing, just edited
Yeah,
very
yeah.
slightly differently, which Sarah knows straight away.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just... That's how poor it is.
Mm.
You literally go straight away, you go, well, that's the same scene.
Yeah.
No, he didn't... There was no effort. He just wanted to slip
More
another one in,
sex,
no
yeah,
pun
yeah.
intended. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I find him... And these little bits as well that are... I can't remember the bit at the end with the tape recorder.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And he can't put it in right.
Yeah.
He could have done that again. He's
Yeah.
the director and the actor on the right. He could have gone, guys, film that again. But there's a reason that he kept that in. He's
you think
making the
it's-
film. He messed up and he chose not to reshoot it and make it look polished.
And you place genius on that.
And I can't help but think if that's intentional.
The only way I could think that's intentional is if actually, in his sincerity, like, he did get... There's actually good takes somewhere out there. But, like, so
Somewhere.
much of the film, like, he realised in the edit, like,
Yeah.
just didn't work.
Mm-hmm.
That he just
Yeah.
went, I'm just going to put in, like, the first take of every scene.
Or it could just
Yeah.
be one take with a cameraman. He goes,
Yeah.
you got it. Yeah. And he never shot.
Yeah.
Backup. Or it could be he's a genius. I don't think he's genius, but I think he's unique. For me, Tom Wiseau
Yes.
is like, he's an impenetrable mind. So the room is like, to him, it probably makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
And for me, the room is a window into the psyche of a very
You delve
unique...
into his mind very
Yeah.
deeply in that film.
And the way he speaks, acts, walks, he's very unique.
Very unique is
Yeah.
the word. He's yeah.
But he did sort of take advantage of his actor there.
I
in
think
the
he
sex
did,
scenes.
and I think the fact you were saying that he didn't show anyone the full script.
Yeah, no one had a full script.
That really bothers me
Yeah,
because it's all in his head, and he's that kind of. I don't know him obviously, but I just think that's a really kind of arrogant thing to do, to keep it all for yourself and go, this is so perfect that my actors don't need to read the full script. It will be amazing. Like,
yeah,
you know, it's really... And then the first time she said she ever watched the film, Juliet, who played Lisa, was in the theatre. And it was like
seeing
complete shock.
it. Yeah,
Yeah. And that's terrifying, I think, as an actor. Especially to do the things that she did. She must have... She was only a stand-in at the beginning, wasn't she? And
Yeah.
it's really brave to kind of put herself through what she did, and then to see it all done in such a way must have been...
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Can we talk about her neck?
She talks about it in
Does
here,
she?
dude.
Okay.
Where is it? Hold on. This book is fantastic. I'm going to reference this for
Ryan
life.
Finnegan, the Room, the Definitive Guide is the book.
It's fantastic.
It is a really good book. Like, he's a friend of ours. We're totally invested. Like, I'll put that out there.
Right, what's the
But
song?
he's written us 2 songs.
2 songs.
2 songs.
Right.
But
guy.
the book is fucking fantastic. Like,
I've never met
It's
the guy.
brilliant.
yours, eh?
Never met
You've
the guy.
known, you only know him from emails
Yeah.
and stuff, but I worked with him for a while, and I think you've met him. I know you did meet him. You met him when we got a corporate video job that never panned out, and he refused to be filmed because, and I quote, "I would be branded forever."
Oh.
Yes,
That's how I met him.
That's
Yeah.
the only time you've met him.
Yeah.
But yeah. So the neck.
She wants to give the neck bulge its own dialogue.
Yeah, she has.
It's really, yeah.
It's like one
real
scene.
bad.
She's delivering lines, and her head's slightly cocked at an angle, and her neck. There's just a bulge that keeps popping out and then going back in.
Popping out.
But it's huge. It's like Alien or something.
Yeah,
trying
it's
to
like
crawl
someone's
out.
trying to just
Yeah.
an exorcism or something.
And when you watch in the cinema, you're supposed to go like, oh, every time it comes out and stuff.
Ugh.
It's like,
Gross. While we're on the subject of the girls in the film,
yeah.
Robin Paris, who plays Michelle.
Is that the best friend? The chocolate?
Yes.
Yeah. My favourite too.
We'll talk about them in a minute because they just are fantastic. She talks quite a lot about the audition, and everyone talks about this audition being in a car park.
Really?
Like there was just in a car park, and they met Tommy, and he's very eccentric and blah blah blah. But she was saying that when she met him, she first met Greg, and I didn't know that Greg, who played Mark, they were like, he's like the producer, isn't he? They work quite closely together. So she met Greg, who introduced me to Tommy, who asked me questions about my background, why I wanted to be an actor, what roles I played in the past, etc. We talked for maybe 10 or 15 minutes before the other actors arrived for the audition. Tommy said, I like you. Well, I'm not going to do the impression. I like you. I think I give you depart. But I don't know. You have too many freckles. We have to airbrush them out. With makeup. He told me that he got his freckles airbrushed out every day. Incidentally, the makeup artist reported that the worst day on set was when they had to airbrush Tommy's ass. The ego of this guy. Do you know what I mean? Like, oh my god, I just can't.
Would you never airbrush your ass for the sake of art?
I mean,
Just get an ass done.
maybe it's within a Tommy Wiseau project, but I just think, jeez Louise.
Would you work with him?
I think I'd have to,
Yeah.
just to say
The
I've worked
opportunity
with this
came,
guy. Because I'd love to see how he directs.
Yeah.
You'd
Do you
want
know
a
what I
small
mean?
part there.
Oh, I wouldn't want to commit too much to it.
Yeah.
Something that I could just pull out of very quickly. What was she saying in it?
While you're finding your quotes, so the chocolate couple, they're my 2 favourite. They have
Amazing.
no real purpose in the film at all. They just, it's set in a house, and they come in the house, and the basic idea is that they go into their friend's house and have sex on the sofa, and then leave. And they're just supposed to be this
God.
cheeky couple, and she plays it as like, I'm the sort of best friend, silly guy, kind of slightly rambunctious girl, and the guy plays it like he's an absolute clown. His facial expressions,
Physically, he's so fantastic.
he's amazing. I love him. His
Yes.
facial expressions are very deliberately like over the top, ridiculous, and stupid. And
Yeah.
it's basically a blowjob that at one bit he's getting, and his
Yeah.
the fluttering of the eyes as they turn up in his head, and his hands like.
I've got to say,
back of his
Sarah
head.
does a fantastic impression
She
of him.
did the impression like behind you, and I started laughing, and then you looked, and she stopped, and I was like, "Don't ruin it for me. Let her discover it. Like you've got to see the guy doing it." Just, I love
Brilliant.
the chocolate couple.
Absolutely
So good.
brilliant. She says, she's asked a question.
Is
And I
this
think
the
this
best
is-
friend, the chocolate?
Yes, I think it's Ryan asking these questions. I could be wrong, but I think
Very
it's him
likely is. Yeah,
interviewing.
yeah.
But the question is, the room does not portray women well. I wondered if you had any feelings about the tone and themes of the film. And she says, I find the film so ridiculous and its characters so one-dimensional and cliched that it's hard to have a serious discussion about the themes and tone. The women are blatantly cartoonish and immaturely crafted. As a result, I can't find them offensive. I think that's a really
Yeah,
interesting
that's
point to
fair.
make. You can't take offence to something that's so ridiculous.
Yeah. Why bother? There's better things to worry about.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but cartoonish is a very good word. It's like he had no concept of women in this film and the way they speak and everything. And the conversation between Michelle and Lisa when on the sofa and they have this like awkward pillow fight kind of thing. Do
Yeah.
you remember? And Michelle says to Lisa, I just think that you have your point of view and I have mine. And it's very different to my point of view, but it's your point of view. Or something like that, which just makes no sense. It's like
Yeah,
he finds
yeah.
the longest way to say something that no one would ever phrase in such a way, and tries to make it work.
Yeah.
Never. It always just misses it. You know, every scene's uncomfortable to watch. The
Yeah.
pace
Yeah,
is
yeah.
so uncomfortable. I just
Absolutely.
can't- it just drags. Do you know what I mean? Every scene goes on 10 seconds too long.
Yeah, but it drags in that it's uncomfortable, but it never gets to the point where it's boring.
No,
That's
and
the
also never
key.
uncomfortable to turn it off.
Yeah, all these terrible things come together to create, like Ryan said at the beginning, just this unique fucking
Beautiful
experience.
massacre of
Yeah,
cinema.
yeah, yeah. It is a beautiful massacre. That's what it
It
is.
really is,
It's
yeah.
a glorious car crash. It's like, and there's other bits. There's the mother. Can we talk about that?
I would love to.
Have you got
because
quotes?
she's,
Or you're pointing at me like
there's a couple of... well, I can't find... I should have prepared more. I was reading this all night.
you prepared a lot.
Um,
Till 2:30 in the morning, just reading
oh, God, I was
It's-
watching videos on this.
The Room, the
Jeez.
definitive guide.
Um,
You're upstairs. I messaged you. I sent you a link to there's a little flash
Yes,
game
the
thing, and you were like,
site.
"I won't sleep all night," you know.
I'm not going to be able to find it now. But the first time you meet the Claudette, I think her name
Yes,
is, right?
Lisa's mother and the girlfriend's mom.
She's cracking.
Yeah,
She appears in... It's... You know, in film, you're always told... I don't know, you probably will, but, like, you're always told there's no point having something in there if you're not going to follow it through.
Mm.
Don't just bring the character in for nothing. It's like, that's all she's there for.
Mm.
He brings her in to have a conversation with Lisa, to then just go out the door
Yeah.
the same... Well, like, there's no point.
People come in and then within 3-4 minutes they say, "I have to go now," and leave.
Yeah.
And her conversations are amazing because they're all plots that never go anywhere.
No.
So there's a cancer storyline just mentioned and dropped.
Just
there's,
dropped.
There's a guy who she might be investing in his house, dropped. There's a guy who's trying to take her house,
Yeah,
dropped.
dropped.
She's had ex-husband she's not happy with, dropped. Like, it just, all these plot points come in and get dropped and move
Yeah.
around.
And it's like he could never commit. Like, I was saying to you this morning, he almost had good storylines. Do you know what I mean? She comes in, she goes, "Oh, I've got the test results back, I've got cancer." And then, you know, but Johnny's had a drink. So that's more,
Yeah.
we're going to go into that. That's
Yeah, yeah.
the storyline here. Drop that.
Johnny
it's
is
like,
Tommy Wiseau's character.
as he was writing it, he kind of went... I feel like it's just verbatim. Everything that he was thinking, he just went down and writ it. And then
Yeah.
if he forgot about it, he'd forget. And
Yeah.
it's just mishmash, the whole thing.
I can see that.
Denny.
Denny.
Talk about Denny.
Denny! There's a kid. I as I understand it, Ryan, I can't remember if Ryan wrote about it. I think Denny is meant to have a learning difficulty. I think he's
Something that's
meant,
implied, yeah.
but he doesn't come off as that.
No,
So he just comes off as a
creepy.
very strange, creepy kid who may or may get involved in drugs, but they're not. Who just pops
Again,
in
just
the
one
house.
of these storylines.
Yeah. There is an amazing bit where he just sits down. Him and Lisa, they walk in a room, and he sits down. But he doesn't just sit down. He sits down behind a chair, so he's like out of shot with his
On
head
the
against the
floor.
window on the floor, and it's like the weirdest. Like, he's just
After all the characters have stood up and left, and there's blatantly empty chairs, you could have sat in a chair.
Yeah.
But for some reason, Tommy Wiseau went,
sit
"Sit,
there.
I feel you're going to sit on
Yeah.
the floor."
And I'm going to keep the camera here, so you're behind. So,
we
it's
can't
just a
see
head
you, yeah.
behind a chair. Yeah, it's glorious. Man.
Fantastic. I actually quite like Mark.
Greg Sestero.
Sestero, yeah.
Yeah.
I liked him. Again, like I was saying to you, I don't think it's... I feel bad for them as actors because I don't think you can only work with what you've got. And if you listen to the dialogue and you actually write it down, how it sounds as they're saying it, there's no other way you could say it other than how they said it.
Yeah.
You can't polish a turd. Do you know what I mean? You can't
Yeah.
you can't make it any more than what it is. That's just dreadful, dreadful dialogue from the mind of a madman.
Yep. Yeah. But it's amazing. It's
Fantastic
and,
film.
Are we wrapping this up? Have you said enough about The Room? No, that there is
I
enough
mean,
to say
I
about-
could talk for hours, but I don't know if you've got enough battery in that, so I'm gonna
Oh, there's more. If you've got more
Right.
you want to say or mention, there's plenty of time.
I just start getting too deep in. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Start questioning my own existence about it and stuff. I don't want to have to do that, but an experience for sure.
And I've put you in touch with Ryan.
Yes,
Who wrote, so you
I'm
can.
definitely I'm gonna be plugging this book for years.
Yeah. The Room, the Definitive Guide by Ryan Finnegan. Again, we know the guy, like you just mentioned, but it's a really good book.
Amazing book.
Yeah.
I don't know him. I'd never heard of The Room until yesterday, but I have pretty much almost finished this book
Yeah.
in a whole night.
Okay. So The Room, right? Part of the joy of The Room is watching it and just experiencing it for yourself, and then the second joy is showing it to other people. how I recommend you watch it is try and find a showing, because they do happen. There used to be one a year in Sheffield. I'll have to see if Ryan's keeping them going or not. When you watch it live, with people who've seen it before, you quote along and you sing along and you dress up, and there's like, oh, can we talk about the spoon? He picked up a framed photograph of a spoon and he just put it in the background, and when it comes on the screen you're supposed to throw plastic spoons around and yell spoon, and you throw a football when they're throwing footballs around, because they throw footballs for no fucking reason in the film
tuxedos.
in tuxedos. One bit. There are characters that come in and then never come back
Get
because
recast
the
and don't
come
back.
It's just a mismatch, and when you're watching the cinema like that, the atmosphere is amazing.
I can imagine.
Yeah, and then like when you watch it with me and Sarah, like we were doing little bits of that just to keep that tone going of this is to be enjoyed for what it is and not.
You have to enjoy it with other people. It's like the same way they say, you know, as you get older, Christmas and birthdays, you know, you get a bit bored of them, but then you have kids and you relive it through your kids because they've seen it for the first time and it's exciting. I feel like that's going to be the same feeling for me. Passing it on to someone else, it'd be like living it again.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
I just warn you, every time you watch it, a little bit of you is staring into the abyss. So be very careful.
I'll feel a little bit of my soul die every time.
Yeah. Right, so that's The Room.
Yeah.
I don't think there's much else to talk about. You can talk about Do Something Jake. We mentioned your trailer in a previous one.
Yeah, thank you guys for doing that. Do Something Jake will hopefully be out summertime, they're hoping for.
Cool.
No budget. Or low budget. Does no budget mean like you have loads and loads of money?
No.
It just means like no.
Low budget can be quite high though. Sometimes
Low budget is under 3 million.
Oh, it was no budget then.
No budget is only under a couple of grand.
Oh wow, okay. But yeah, hopefully going to be out soon. Amazing experience. So I'm looking forward to seeing more than just the trailer. Stay tuned, guys.
Cool.
And for on set as well.
Oh, we
So
don't
that's
even know if
gonna
we're
be-
calling it that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just the working
You're kidding.
title.
We're going to have to get into this later. What do you mean?
It's just the working title. While we're working it, that's our reference point.
Oh, I like on set.
It might stay as on set.
Okay.
It might become Jelly Bean, or we don't know what it's going to be called. Scarf Adventures. Because all the characters are
What's
wearing
that?
scarves at the minute.
Can we put a room reference in on set somewhere?
We can try. We
Okay.
could absolutely try.
I'll be happy with
It has
that.
to be clever though. There has to be a reason for it.
Of course. Wow. Is there any reason for
Yeah,
this whole
yeah, yeah.
film?
That world is there. That's the question that will never be answered.
Did
Mia.
he? Is it intentional? Is it ironic? Will
Yeah.
always be the question.
Right, we're going to close off. Mia, recommend The Room. I'll let you
Please watch
close.
The Room, and please then read The Room: The Definitive Guide by Ryan Finnegan, because it's fantastic. I can't recommend it enough.
And there
The
we
book
go.
is an experience in itself.
There we
So-
go. We're out.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.